Hello, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Got a very special guest for you today, Steve Bacque, also known as the Crazy Cranford Cowboy, and he's going to give a tour of his
Redneck Rolls.
So join us.
It's great to be here, Patrick. Thank you for having me. This is my customized 2002 Ford F-150 King Ranch short bed. I also refer to it as the Redneck Rolls. It started off life as a stock 150, but I have a motorized mechanical horse that I put in the bed to haul it around, and so I made this crazy contraption because I do go a lot of off-roading and boondocking. So since I go off-roading and boondocking out in state national parks and Bureau of Land Management land, I like to get off-grid. So obviously I have a 12,000-pound recovery winch up here on the front, but it's removable, so if I get stuck and there's not a tree in front of me, I can pull it out, put it in my rear receiver hitch, and pull myself out either forward or backwards, always thinking ahead. Of course, we've got an LED light bar up here on the front. Being a cowboy from Texas, I had to have silver spurs, and of course, it is the shitbox edition. And of course, it's definitely like me, it's the Redneck edition. This is a really unique Raptor U-Pole bed liner paint. It doesn't scuff, fade, scratch. It's UV resistant. And so when you're out boondocking and branches and stuff like that are going to be scraping up your vehicle, this is going to hold up and also prevents rust, and it'll hide any little dents or imperfections. Really good stuff. You might want to consider bed lining the whole exterior of your rig. So up here on the top, we have the another 52-inch LED light bar, 15 gallons of pressurized water up behind the steer head. Steer head is not for looks. I have my mechanical horse that actually with 4 bolts, it goes from a horse to a bull. I literally reach up through my moonroof, take off the 4 bolts, off comes the head, and onto the horse it goes. Behind the 15 gallons of pressurized heated water, we have 2 5-gallon jerry cans that feed directly to the neck of my main tank. So if I'm stuck out in the middle of nowhere, I have an extra 10 gallons of gas, basically about 100 miles. I can get someplace to get more gas. Always have to think ahead. In between those 2 jerry cans, there are 2 watertight, airtight storage bins, and of course a full-size spare. On each side of the truck, we have an electrical outlet that I can plug into electrical if I'm someplace where I need that. And here we have, of course, being a cowboy from Texas, I go well-heeled. My doors are artificial 6-gun shooters. Everybody gets a lot of kicks out of it, and get a lot of comments on my Colt 45 cowboy-style door handles. And down here we took from a 1932 Ford and put the plates onto my running boards. We have some really unique interior. It's vinyl that looks like hand-tooled basket weave leather, front and back. And I have a book about the sport of rodeo. I competed in rodeos for almost 30 years, from a little kid all the way up through my 30s. The name of the book is called Bronx Bulls and Buckles. And so I also promote the book. Of course, we have an awning. We'll take this out. You know, when you're out in the woods, you get thirsty. You gotta have a place to open up your bottles. Or if you're drinking cans, you gotta be able to crush them. So you gotta be always prepared. Now, I talked about my mechanical horse. It's a mechanical horse on wheels, does 42 miles an hour, bucks, kicks, spins, pops, wheelies, and shoots t-shirts and tennis balls 450 feet out its tail. I store the horse in the bed of the truck, so I have the ramps right here in these custom done boxes. The ramps pinned right here to my tailgate. And I winch the horse literally into the bed of the truck. Right there we have a 2,500 pound capacity winch, another LED light bar. This is a folding motorcycle hitch receiver. This folds down, you pull that cogger pin and it folds down and makes a bed platform in the back of the truck. Of course, I have some grab bars to help me get in and out, little fire extinguisher, and I even have a ladder to climb on up into the bed. As you get older, you need the things to kind of help make life easier. Of course, I store my cowboy hats, everything. Gotta have an American flag. And we can pull the pin here and show you how the bed comes down. I always have redundancy besides the hitch pin. I chained it up in case I hit some rough weather. Down comes the bed platform. Ta-da! There you go. I have a little brace I put underneath there to keep it from wobbling. Instant bed, and it goes right back up. And you put the hitch pin in. Done. So my horse that created the truck has gotten a little bit of press. Back in late 2018, early 2019, we went viral on social media with Charger, my motorized horse, and about 118 TV interviews later, and I lost count. I think at last count they said that was like 4.5 million views, means, and shares on social media with the horse. This whole rig was built to hold the horse. I would put the horse in the back of the truck and cover it up with a tarp. Long before I built all this, the tarp beat the hair off the hide of the horse. So during the COVID shutdown, I found most of the stuff on Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist for free or really cheap. And me and my buddies on the driveway with limited tools and skills, we built this crazy contraption, obviously by rednecks with wrenches. That's why we call it the Redneck Rolls. It's not professionally done. It's not pretty, but it serves my purpose. And everything all included, I've got maybe $1,200 worth of actual out-of-pocket expenses, but I have a very custom built that fits my needs. It'll haul my horse and bull, but it'll double as a camper. Let's see the rest of the truck so you'll understand why it's a camper. So we started off with the 8.5-foot metal ladder rack and headache rack, but it was too big. This is only a short bed truck. We had to cut it and weld it back together. Then we found this fiberglass camper shell for free on Facebook, got it, bolted and welded it down to the metal frame, and then we built these custom boxes here on the side to hold the ramps to get the horse in and out. And we put the camper shell up high because the horse needed the height to be able to fit in here. And I'm like, I'm pretty short. I can fit in here too. When the horse is not in here, I can have it as a camper. And so yeah, we had the bed, and then the headache rack, we had to cut out a piece of the metal headache rack and made ourselves out of plexiglass and metal another little window so I could get to my rear sliding power window to get past from the cab of the truck to the back. Of course, we got all sorts of sleeping bags and little kitchen stuff, and I have a whole bunch of other camping equipment. On this bed platform that we showed earlier, I even have extra storage in the form of saddlebags on the back of the truck. We have sliding functional windows on the camper, and we took the little screen with magnets so I can reach to my generator, an additional power source right here, turn everything on, plug in, and fire it up. I have a small inverter generator also going to my solar. I'm putting 600 watts of solar onto the roof. It's a little quieter, but if that doesn't work, I have a gas-powered little small generator. I believe in redundancy. If one system doesn't work, you have a backup so that if you're out boondocking out in the middle of nowhere, you're not in trouble. You've got power lights or a way to get out of there, whatever it is you need. Always be careful and have a fire extinguisher in your rig. And it folds right up and straps down to my tailgate. Of course, you need hand recovery tools when you're out boondocking. So besides the winch that we have up on the front, we've got assorted hand tools and even a sledge to drive the axe through the wood for your campfire. Of course, a high lift jack. Can't be without that. And here we have a pop-out shower tent. This doubles for a couple of things. Obviously, it's my way to take a shower out in the woods, but also it is my bathroom. So what we have here is the portable little potty. Just put your garbage bag with a little kitty litter in there when you need to answer Mother Nature out in nature, or self-explanatory. Now, when you are taking a shower, your feet are going to get muddy and dirty or sandy. Quick, easy solution at any home improvement store, under 12 bucks. It's meant to go underneath a hot water heater at your house. It's cheap, it's plastic, it's very storable, and you're going to be standing in it instead of on the ground when you're taking your shower outdoors, and you're not going to get your feet all muddy. You just have to think these things through. So you may be wondering, why doing this to a truck as opposed to getting a nice big RV or toy hauler? Well, a lot of RVs, they can't really go off-road. And my idea of camping is not parking in an RV park 20 feet from the next RV, paying about the same amount you would have to pay for a hotel. When I want to go camping, I want to be out in the middle of nowhere. I want to be at least a mile from the next person. Because a lot of times during the week, I want to camp because on the weekends, I'm usually working fairs, rodeos, carnivals with my mechanical horse and bull. And so this is set up, one, to work in the parking lot of a fair or rodeo, but then when the rodeo or fair is over, Monday through Wednesday or Thursday, I'm out seeing the national parks, the state parks, and going out to Bureau of Land Management land, overlanding, boondocking camping, extreme camping, dry camping, whatever you want to call it. I like to get out into nature, explore, see beautiful Mother Nature and the animals in which that habitat. On the weekends, I'm busy working. In the middle of the week, I want to be out in the middle of nowhere and be away from people. Weekends, I'm surrounded by people. Middle of the week, I need to decompress. This rig allows me to do exactly that.
Thank you for taking the time today to give us a tour of your awesome creation. Can you tell us a little bit about what inspired you to build the mechanical horse? And I did some research on you because you were covered in a lot of news. You were on Oprah, you're an author of books. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Truth stranger than fiction. You can't make this stuff up. So, yeah, rodeo cowboy from Texas, grew up on a ranch. I started in Little Britches rodeos at 5 years old. Like you have T-ball for baseball for kids up here. I started in Little Britches rodeos. I competed in rodeos from 5 to almost 35 years old. But married a Jersey girl, so up here in Jersey I've been, but they took me out of Texas, could not take Texas out of me. Honorably served in the United States Marine Corps. I'm a 4th generation jarhead. My father was a World War II Marine. But anyhow, so very proud of my military service. So you'll kind of see there's a kind of a military theme and a cowboy theme going on here. I am disabled. I've had 3 major back surgeries. And so how the horse came about, they told me I needed a mobility scooter to get around. And so being an old rodeo cowboy Marine and toy designer, I had a very successful toy designing company. I wasn't going to just ride a little mobility scooter and be the old fat man scooting around on that. I had to have one that was more inducive of my personality. So I made it into a mechanical horse. My wife was embarrassed by this thing. She said, "Don't ride that, it's embarrassing." I did. It went viral, and next thing I know, if you Google Crazy Cranford Cowboy, you will see me all over the news. It became like a little business, and people started hiring me to go and do events. And one of the first groups that hired me was the PBR, Professional Bull Riders. I'm like, but it's a bull riding event. It's a horse. I'll make it into a bull. And we're like, okay. So then I made it into a bull, hence the Texas Longhorn bullhead up on the roof. Horse transforms to a bull. But it all started off just as a way for me to have a mobility scooter to get around. It went viral and turned into another little business. So besides the crazy truck, I have a small little fleet growing of these mechanical horses and bulls. So only one could fit back here. So if I'm just doing an event where they're hiring just me, this is good, and I don't have to pull a trailer. I have everything I need in a 5.5 foot bed truck. But when I need to haul more of these little units for kids to ride at events, I have a custom built trailer. So we can maybe save that for another episode. It started off life as an open little utility trailer. Took a Redding toolbox cap, closed it in, built up the sides. It's got more gadgets than this. It doubles as a camper, has an awning and a shower and a kitchen, and also I can fit 5 little motorized horses or bulls in the back. And so with the truck and the trailer together, they all match, obviously. I'm like my own traveling little one-man carnival.
And I'm sure some of the viewers are going to fall in love with you and your creation and want to see some more. How do they follow you?
Oh, that's easy. Okay, so on Facebook, it's just my name, Stephen, S-T-E-P-H-E-N, Bacque, B-A-C-Q-U-E. I also have another Facebook page, the Crazy Cranford Cowboy, and on Instagram, it's Crazy Cranford Cowboy, all one word, lowercase, no spaces. And hopefully soon, my son, he's much better at this than I am, I'm an old fart, is going to have my own little YouTube channel like you have.
Well, we'll make sure I link to your Facebook, and that way people could follow along, and then once you get your YouTube, they'll be able to follow you there.
Yeah, this is showing that with a little imagination and creativity and a very limited budget, if you really think it through, you can build something really unique and creative with limited tools and knowledge of carpentry, welding, and electrical. We built this on the driveway, not in the shop. Kind of shows, doesn't it? But it works.
Well, this is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like this video, comment, share, subscribe. I love it, and we'll see you soon.
Take it easy, guys.